Hey everyone, so this is the 2017 Samsung Note 8 that is rocking 6 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, which can be expanded with a micro SD card slot. Uh, and it has the Snapdragon 835 in it. On the right is the brand new from 2023, just came out, the Samsung S23 Ultra that's rocking 12 gigabytes of RAM. There you can also get 8 gigabytes of RAM, but we have the 12 gigabyte version here. It has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Samsung, which is supposed to be a little bit better than the non-for Samsung versions. This one has 512 gigabytes of storage, and again 12 gigabytes of RAM. Uh, so some things that this Note has that it does not have, again, is a micro SD card slot, so you can expand your storage. Again, it only comes with 64 gigabytes, so you'll probably need that. And then it also has a headphone jack, where the new one does not have either of those two things. Both of them do have S Pens. They are actually on two different sides. The Note has it on its right side. The S23 Ultra has it on its left side here. We look at the Ultras first. It is just a black S Pen, nothing really fancy looking whatsoever. Whereas on the old Note, it actually matches the orchid gray color of my phone. So the Note is orchid gray. The S23 Ultra is actually, I have the cream color, but yet you only get a black S Pen. And also to note, you can use either S Pen with either device. Just like if you have a tablet, the S7, S8 tablets, you can do the same. We can use other styluses or Samsung S Pen styluses with those tablets as well, besides for ones it comes with, which is pretty cool. This is 6.8 inches. This is only 6.3, even though you can see they're about the same size. I do have cases on both of them. But this has more of a bezel on top and bottom. This is pretty much bezel-less, about as bezel-less as you can get. Let's start off this comparison though with a bit of an internet browsing test. Both are on the same Wi-Fi. This would be more of a real-world speed test because I did not delete histories on either of them. So you can see, and see how it is when you don't delete history, because people don't delete their histories every time they get off the internet. Unless you're looking up stuff you don't want other people to see. So of course, the S23 Ultra is going to be a decent amount faster. So this is already loaded in, but this is kind of loading in here. Go ahead, we'll hit one more. But I still think the Note 8, for being a 6-year-old phone, is still decently quick. And this is probably going to be quicker than some budget-friendly phones out there. So let's get on out. Well, let's do one more website. We'll go to apple.com. That is a bit easier of a website than Best Buy's is. Let's go with the iPhone 14, learn more. So again, the Ultra is quite a bit faster. The Ultra also has 120 Hz refresh rate, adaptive refresh rate. The Note 8 does not have that. It's just too old. But both of those load in just fine there. Alright, then if we go into, let's just do a very easy gaming test here. Let's be Roblox. I'll show you how both these play Roblox. So we're just going to do some Royal High here in Roblox, which is a bit more of a graphical game of Roblox. Starting out with the Note 8. So I turn my graphics up all the way. Again, more budget-friendly phones and tablets can actually have some issues with this game. Especially some more budget-friendly tablets, they can load in this game in lowest graphics. The boat almost never loads in, I don't know why. On pretty much any device. And then you also get this weird vortex looking thing that happens a lot in max graphics which will eventually fix itself. Again, happens on a lot of different devices, not just the Note 8 here. But you can see everything looks pretty good. So people popping up out of nowhere. There's really no lag or stuttering or anything like that. Oh, maybe a tiny bit of stuttering, but nothing like, oh my goodness. Like, this loads in rather well. Set ourselves on fire to see how that looks. That sounded very weird. Jump into the water here. So, I mean, this is no issues. I really wouldn't say this has any issues playing this game. Again, this is one of the more graphical games of Roblox. And of course, here on the S23 Ultra, we shouldn't have any issues either, except for kicking us out of it. So let's go again, manual, up all the way, explore the world, do the same exact, whoops, we do the same exact place here, Sunset Island, if I can tap it. Come on, visit. There we go. There we go. Hey, the boat loaded in that time. Said sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There's a lot of people here right now. This part, actually, I will say this does look a little bit better. And we're back on the boat. Get off the boat, dude. I think it does actually look like, oh my goodness. If my guy would get off the boat. So it has some weirdness when you first get into this game. But everything looks really good. Again, there's no stuttering, there's no lag, as one would expect. I mean, this is like the most powerful Android phone, or one of the most powerful Android phones you can get right now. It's not like the gaming phones, at least, like the Asus gaming phones. So that all looks very good. Got no issues with either of these. Next, we're going to try out a 4K video on YouTube. So for some reason, the S23 put it in 480. This put it into 720. Let's flip these back to how we had them in the beginning here. So S23 Ultra, Note 8. Do 2160, 60 frames per second here. 1, 2, and 3. Let's get out of this live chat. Should be able to zoom the fill. Zoom the fill. Both of these look really good. And you can, so this is actually a live video, which is pretty cool. And you can see how many people are watching it right now. This looks, both of these look really good. In all honesty, again, you can zoom the film. Of course, you do have the hole punch there, the camera hole punch there. Where the Note 8, it's all in the black bezel, so you don't notice the camera punch. But that is really small, and it's probably not going to bother you. This is definitely a bigger phone screen, as you can see. So I'll line up the screens here. So I mean, it's definitely a little bit bigger. We can also do a zoom ahead in this video. Actually, I think the Note started up a bit faster, or restarted a bit faster. Not that time. But again, both of these look really, really good. I mean, I wouldn't complain about either of these. And then the one main part of why I wanted to trade in or replace my Note 8 here, which I've used for about 6 years now, I was actually using OfferUp. It's just a little bit slower on OfferUp. I mean, I do post things for sale on OfferUp quite a bit, and going through the posting process takes quite a bit more time with the Note 8 than it does with any of the newer phones. And every step takes just a couple more seconds, which over time, when you're posting, 10 different things, it can take, an extra 10, 20 minutes to post stuff. Something like this, you can see this is definitely a bit faster here. Okay, it's not absurdly faster, but it's definitely faster. You can see too, there's a little bit more stuttering if you will. It's hardly noticeable, but there's a little bit more stuttering when you're scrolling through. I probably have to do more with the refresh rate. So I know we don't have too many things open here, but we're gonna go back through everything. And of course, neither of these have issues. Even 6 gigabytes of RAM, for the most part, unless you're doing crazy heavy tasks, it's gonna be more than just fine. So yeah, you all let me know what you think though. So I mean, there's not a crazy difference between a 6-year-old flagship Samsung phone versus a brand new Samsung flagship phone. It all depends on what you're doing with it. Now, if you're doing like 4K video editing or something like that, then yes, there's gonna be a difference. But I mean, for the most part, though, a Note 8 is still a really, really good phone, even in 2023. You all let me know what you think, though. As always, I appreciate it. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.